about now? Anything? All right, can you hear me now? Hopefully you can hear me now. The button was turned off. I'm going to give it a second just to see if people can hear me. Man, what a pain. All right, I got one that says yep. Hopefully, okay. I'm seeing the little thing on the screen there. It looks like it's showing me that I can talk. So, good, I'm talking. Good to know. All right, what I was starting to say is, great, I'm glad you all can hear me. I've been getting a lot of requests for these shirts, and I am, for this vendor that I work with, that I've got a partnership with to produce all the LLCs for the clients that I work with in all the 50 states. I'm one of their favorite clients, and they actually have told me they can set up and they're going to figure out a way to get these shirts to anyone that wants one. I haven't figured out how that's going to happen yet, but it's coming. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about tonight is I want to share a little bit about my story as an attorney and how I got to the point where I'm offering this online business legal toolkit, and what I think is so important that you need to know about setting up your business for success. So hopefully you are an online business. Typically that's those are the people that work with me. I'm an online business lawyer, and this is my passion. It wasn't where I started though. I mean, you can tell the gray, I'm a little bit older, so I grew up in a different world where online business wasn't as big of a deal. So it took me a while to kind of ease into it, but I knew I wanted to be an online entrepreneur way back in the 90s when I was going through college and then and into law school. And I saw going into law school as a way that I could go into business for myself and start my own business. And that's exactly what I did. Basically, to kind of cut to the chase, what happened was I graduated law school. I went to work for a firm for a little bit. Decided that I really wasn't very good at working for a firm, and I left. I started my own firm, and I immediately had a problem. And that problem was trying to figure out how to get clients and how to build an actual business, right? And so I started reading books by people like Seth Godin and Bob Berg and Dan Kennedy and all these things to try and learn about how to build a business. And that's where I started getting all this, really passionate about just about business and marketing and all these things. If any of you remember Borders before they went bankrupt, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I don't remember when, you could go in there, you could sit in their coffee shop, kind of like you can do at Barnes & Noble now, well, when we're not in COVID anyway, and you could get your coffee, you could get a bunch of books. This is back before I was married, before I had kids, and I had actual time, and you could grab 5-6 books and spend an afternoon there, and that's what I did, and now I've got a bookshelf, 2 bookshelves actually, maybe even 3, filled with books that some of you have seen on some of my older videos. That these books that I gathered over the years to learn about marketing. And so then I really started to get into this, and I started taking courses. The first course I took was Internet Business Mastery, the Academy from Jeremy Franson and Jason Van Orden, and love those guys. And they're the ones that Pat Flynn actually took their course as well. And that's where he started his Smart Passive Income from. And he's probably their star pupil, right? And so that was the first course I took to learn how to start building this business. And so, because what I really realized when I was a lawyer, well, I still am a lawyer, but when I realized when I was a lawyer back then was that I could only help so many people as a lawyer, because, you know, the amount of people I could influence was directly related to the number of people I could service at a time with my law firm. And so I really started to look for ways that I could expand that reach and that influence so I could help more people. And the biggest problem with being a lawyer, excuse me for a second, is that you're limited by the state that you practice in. So I'm licensed in 2 states, Florida and North Carolina, and those I can only help people in Florida or North Carolina. And so I started looking for ways that I could kind of expand my reach and help more people and build a business that was more scalable and would suit my lifestyle, especially as my wife and I started to have kids and things of that sort. So I did a little bit of e-commerce back then, and I gained a lot of knowledge about e-commerce. So some of you might do that. I started building my own blogs. I started blogging. I actually had a podcast at one point that still can be found on iTunes. And then obviously I started this YouTube channel, and I was constantly looking for ways that I can help people understand, take complex legal concepts and transform them into legal concepts that people could actually understand, that everyday people could understand. I can try. There's a bunch of books. If you go, I just got a comment from Sherry, and Seth Godin wrote Purple Cow. You Google him on Amazon, everywhere. Pat Flynn, he did Smart Passive Income. Dan Kennedy. All these people are pretty well known in the marketing space and in online business. But anyway, so I really got into online business and the idea that I could start spreading my message and helping more people with these complicated legal topics. And so I started thinking about how that would work. And I was passionate about online business, and I was passionate about the law, and I figured, how can I mix these two? Well, I could be an online business lawyer. And so that's kind of what I started looking into doing. And there really is no practice area for online business. It's kind of uncharted territory. I looked into CLEs. CLEs are things that lawyers have to do on an annual basis. They're called continuing legal education. In North Carolina, we have to take 12 hours of continuing education a year. And so I looked to find, are there any continuing education courses I can take for an online business lawyer? And there really aren't. It's a bunch of different practice areas that are all kind of cobbled into one area. I mean, you've got to deal with contracts, you've got to deal with trademarks and intellectual property, you've got to deal with LLCs and business entities and corporations and things of that sort. So it's really a bunch of different things that kind of impact privacy rights that are in that one practice area. And so I saw an opportunity, and I thought, well, this is something that I can help and teach people, and it kind of crosses state lines because it's a really gray area in terms of the legal aspects of it. There's, how do you have an online business that's only in North Carolina but serves people around the country? I mean, it's really, there's some gray area there in terms of the jurisdictional issues and that we face, and as well, not even just in the United States, but you could be selling to people internationally in Australia and Canada and Europe and everywhere. So I felt like there was a big opportunity, and that was one area where I could really put my efforts into that and build a law firm, so to speak, that really would go nationwide, and that was the goal. And so I started posting these videos on YouTube, and I started on YouTube because Amy Schmittauer, who is now Amy Landino, she had a channel called Savvy Sexy Social, and it is now I think Amy TV. If any of you have heard of her, she's great. She's a Buckeye. She went to Ohio State, so I love her because I went to Ohio State, and so she got me started on YouTube. I think I heard her on a podcast with someone like Lewis Howes or someone talking about how she built this YouTube channel, and I thought, well, that's a way that I can reach more people with my videos. I didn't honestly think it was going to go anywhere, to be perfectly honest. And so she does a thing called videos every day in April, and she does it in April and in August. So it's called Veda. SSS Veda was what it was called. So if you look at some of my early videos, if I still have them on the channel, I don't know if I do, there's still some SSS Veda videos on there probably. I may have unlisted a lot of them, but I don't remember. Anyway, that's how I started. I did like 23 or 24 videos, a daily video. That was the goal. Do a video every single day. I learned how to do it. I used this old Sony Handycam to do it. The sound was horrible. The video was probably horrible. And that's how I did it. And then and that was back in probably the spring of 2016. And then I really stopped paying attention to the YouTube channel. And then at some point, I saw that it started to grow, and I realized that maybe I was onto something with this YouTube thing, and so I put more effort into it. And because if you're going to be an online business lawyer, you really have to reach a national audience. You can't just be dealing with people on a local level, because no offense to the people where I live, but a lot of them and a lot of people in a lot of areas are stuck in this mindset of, you have to do things the old way. It's got to be a brick and mortar store. You have to go to BNI groups to get your business. Everything has to be done person to person, and especially where I live in the South, there's a very prominent way. A lot of people, they're very hesitant to look into options for doing online business. No offense to the lawyer that I share office space with, who rents from me downstairs, but he, when COVID hit in March, like my law firm was ready to roll. I could like literally grab my bag, walk out the door with my laptop and my cell phone. I was good to go. All my files are virtual. Everything gets scanned in. The only real hiccup was I had to come in to pick up the mail, but everything else I could do from home. All my files were available in the cloud. When my computer, the hard drive crashed about a month or two ago, actually it wasn't that, I spilled coffee on it. Some of you may remember I talked about that on a video, but I spilled coffee on my MacBook. I had to send it away to Apple for a week. I literally, packed it up, sent it to Apple, grabbed my old laptop, logged into all my programs. I was ready to go. And that's the business that we have now. And that's what so many people are doing. But so I really needed to reach a more national audience, because a lot of the people where I work locally just aren't in tune with what it means to have an online business. And a lot of people don't really understand it. And you probably get that too, whether you're a blogger or a coach, or maybe you've got a podcast or a YouTube channel, or you do social media as an influencer. If you do any of those things, give me a thumbs up or something in the comments and let me know, because these are the people that I want to work with. These are the people that I want to work with through the Online Business Legal Toolkit, and these are the people I want to work with as individual clients as well. And so I'm not seeing any comments. Is none of you do that type of stuff? Come on, either you're not paying attention or there. Okay, I see a couple of thumbs up. But anyway, that was my goal, was to reach those people. Telemedicine. There you go. I just had a consult with somebody about telemedicine a month or two ago, because there's a lot of issues with that, right? Just trying to get started. That's great. Online business is really, really hard. But what can make it even harder is if you start and you go from smoking. Is that? Hopefully that means me. I love this. I think that's a cigarette. Hopefully you're talking about me, Apatillo 74. Anyway, Online business is really hard, and it can take years to start. And that was my experience. I mean, I really started, I would say, around 2010 or 11 when I first signed up for Internet Business Mastery. It was $500. My wife was, let's just say she wasn't happy that I signed up for that program. She's like, "What are you doing? You're a lawyer. Why are you getting distracted? You're doing fine as a lawyer. You don't need to be doing internet stuff. It's always internet stuff, right?" And some of you can probably relate to this with your family members and whatever. And God love them, but like my brother and sister, my mom has since passed away. My brother and sister, they don't have a clue that what I'm. They're like, "Why, you're a lawyer? Why are you doing YouTube videos? What are you doing?" And it is. It's just a crazy thing because you get a lot of eye rolls from people when you're doing online business. I'm going off on a tangent now, but anyway, so the point of my story here is that it's hard enough when you're starting your online business, and there's a lot to think about. And what you really need to do is you need to have a success. You want to have a successful online business, then you need to set things up correctly from the beginning. I don't care if you're just sitting there and you're like, tonight, you're like, you know what? This is what I needed to go and start my business. I've got an idea. I'm going to go register the domain name right now. As soon as you get off this call, if you're going to go and register the domain name, that is completely fine. Do that. But whether you're there or whether you're generating $5,000, $10,000 a month with your business already, or even more, I know people that are generating $50,000, $100,000 a month with their online business. I've got a coach that I work with who there a lot of the people in the program, that's what they're doing. And but the problem is, I see, like, I just got finished watching a recording of an interview my coach did with another very prominent online. I won't say he was a celebrity, but he's doing very well. He's doing 7 figures a year with his business, and it's funny, I went to his website and he didn't have like basic things. He didn't have a privacy policy. He didn't have a terms of service on his website. And this is somebody who, number one, is in a high-risk industry, right? He's selling, he's in the financial space. He's selling advice and guidance about how to trade in the stock market. And he doesn't have any disclaimers. He doesn't have these very basic things that you need on a website. He's playing with fire, to be perfectly honest. And there's a lot of people out there that do this, that get started in business. They, maybe they achieve a little bit of success, and then they focus on building their audience, building their email list, getting their offer, producing their products, doing their affiliates, whatever they're doing. And then they start to become really successful, and they forget that the legal aspects of the business is also very, very important. And that's why and I'll be honest, and I think, and this is my opinion, I think that the reason why people have a hard time with that is because it's so hard to find good information about how to protect your business legally. And so people just think, well, you know what? They're scared. You know what? I'm going to have to spend $5,000, $10,000 hiring a lawyer to do this for me. I can't afford to do that right now. So I'm just not going to do anything and assume that nothing is going to go wrong. That's basically what I see people doing. And I think that's the mindset. And comment below if you think that's something that I'm right about. And Monica says, do you help people that are not online? It really depends. Pretty much everyone is online these days, unless you're like like a plumber who's going in and fixing somebody's sink and then leaving and getting paid. But even them, if you have a website and you're getting business from that, then you're probably online. There are businesses that are strictly not online. The information that I sell and prepare and teach in my course that incidentally is closing tonight is mainly geared towards people who do have online businesses. So if you're, like I said before, coach, consultant, e-commerce, although I did have somebody join last time and they asked for a refund because they were doing strictly retail arbitrage, which means they go and buy stuff at Walmart, sell it on Amazon, and make a profit. Because they didn't have a website. But if you have a Shopify store, yes, Sherry, I will post the course information. In fact, I'll do that right now. Let's see. These podcasters, YouTubers, social media influencers, these are the, hold on a second. These are the people that are going to benefit most from this course. And I kind of went off on another tangent there, but so that's the point. So it's hard enough. So I see these people that get in, they start their online business, and let me just see here. Can I move that around? I see these people, they start their online business and then they just forget about all this stuff for whatever reason, probably because it's too scary to them to do it. So I've tried to create a course, and I used a lot of viewer feedback. I ran surveys. I talked to people. I talked to current clients and different people, way back in December and January when I was first starting this whole journey. And they told me exactly what they wanted, and that's what I put out. So, I can go ahead and talk to you a little more about what's in the course, but that's how my journey began. And the other thing I will say before we go into showing you kind of a little bit behind the scenes, I'm happy to do that with you tonight, is the course. I see a lot of. I've taken a lot of courses. So I've taken like Jeff Walker's Product Launch Formula, Ramit Sethi's Zero to Launch, Amazing Selling Machine. I'm a member of Podcasters Paradise, which is John Lee Dumas's course. So I'm familiar with all of these. Rick Mulready's Foundations course for Facebook ads. I'm a member of a lot of these communities where I see people that are teaching about online business, different aspects of online business, smart passive income. I've been following Pat Flynn for years. And so, but the one thing they're always missing is they're not talking about the legal. They're telling people, oh, screw you, screw the 9 to 5. And so I'm love getting, I'm sorry, I'm trying to watch the comments and talk at the same time. That's probably not a good idea. What I'll do is, as we get towards the end and we start wrapping up, I'll go through and answer a bunch of questions in the comments. I'll go back through them. There's a lot of comments. So, I've seen all these courses, and people aren't really talking about the legal aspects. It's interesting. So I took Amazing Selling Machine. I bought through Ryan Daniel Moran, who teaches a lot about e-commerce. And I went out to Vegas for one of the conventions, and he had us in a room. He basically, taught us all day about the things that he knows and have worked for him. And then he took us all out to dinner. And he told us this story about how he had built this brand into multiple six figures and all these things. But he made a big mistake because he didn't file for trademark protection with his brand. And so that was a big problem because the company that wanted to buy his brand from him basically said, we're not going to close on the sale of the business until we know that we can register this trademark. And so that was a big issue. So these are some of the things, and a similar thing happened with Amy Schmidauer several years ago because she ran this brand called Savvy Sexy Social. Now, I don't know if she trademarked that or not. Again, her name is Amy Landino now. You can check her out. She's great. She's got a big YouTube channel. But she... thank you, Walter H., for the super chat. I got to tell you, that is the first time anyone's ever given me a super chat. Maybe it's because I'm not doing enough live streaming. I probably should do more, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see. And just for that, what's your question? Do I have to get my LLC in Cali when I own an employment agency and I help with hire needs of companies all over the country, 100% online work? That's a great question. Those are the exact type of questions that I do answer in the course, and I appreciate the super chat, but I can't answer legal type questions on these YouTube lives, unfortunately. Anyway, what I was saying about Amy is, so she has this brand called Savvy Sexy Social, and somebody else had come in and they were trying to use the brand name. It was like Sexy Savvy Social, something like that. And so that was a problem for her. Luckily for her, she has a big enough following that they were be able to go in and quelch that, so there wasn't a big issue. But that's the type of stuff that if you have the information about how to protect your business up front, you can eliminate some problems like that. If you know whether or not you need to set up an LLC or not, then I will say this, Walter, I've got a lot of videos about whether or not you should set up an LLC. I think I just did one last week that gave a number of reasons why you should not set up your LLC. And then I've got other videos that talk about why you should. So you might want to check those out. They might help you. They might be able to answer your question. I'm not sure. So anyway, the goal of why I started this online business legal toolkit is to help people get this information. So it's good. It's helpful for them when they're just starting out and they have the information, so that they don't make those mistakes that I've seen other people make, and I've seen a lot of clients make as well. So I'm going to take a minute and just show you how this works. So if you go into, and let's see here. So this is, so if you click on that page that says hawthornelaw.net/courses, this is an incognito page. I'm doing this as if I was you, basically. And this is what I would call the sales page, if you will, for the course. It's got a lot of information about the course, how it's going to work, different things of that sense. Says we've got a 100% money back guarantee for 30 days. So if you get into the course and you're not happy for any reason, we will refund you. So like I said, that one person that got in and realized that the course was more for people that had a website, but he did not have a website, even though probably still could have benefited him because he might need an LLC and things of that sort. But whatever, there was no questions asked. I'm not going to haggle with people over $300. And that's what the course was before. Now it's $497. It's gone up. But last time it was $300. Anyway, so this is the thing. There's some of my past students have given me some great reviews, which I appreciate it. Oliver was a great student. The course was packed with premium content and delivered at a valuable price. I needed this help. I'm impressed with how you hold the end user's hand in this step-by-step process. So that's the whole point of the course, is I want to make sure that you get the information you need so that you can be legally protected without breaking the bank, especially when you're just getting started. We do have the templates. We got the video tutorials. We do 4 group coaching calls. And as you can see, registration closes in a little less than 2 hours. And then here, if you need to know what's in it, if you're one of those type of people that wants to know what's in it before you purchase, here's a whole outline of the entire course right here and everything that you're going to get. So once you click on the button, you can click this Get Started Now button, or you can click on any of these Register Now buttons. It's going to take you to another page where you have to, and it's, I really need to fix this, but let's just say I'm going to sign up under a pseudonym, John Doe, doe@john.com, and we'll do a dummy password. Make sure you read the terms of use and the consumer privacy policy. That's very important. Click the box, and you can sign up to create a quick account, and then there, you just purchase right there. And that's how you sign up for the course. You'll get immediate access, and I'm going to show you here in just a second if I can move some things around on my screen. This is let's see. So once you log in and sign up, you're going to, oh, that's the wrong one. You're going to, let's see. You're going to come into the course, and this is the, this is what it'll see. You'll get access to, initially, you'll get access to the introduction, the Welcome to the Online Business Toolkit, and week 1. 8 days later, you'll get access to week 2. 8 days after that, week 3. 8 days later, you'll get access to week 4. That's going to change next time I launch. I think next time I launch, you're going to get immediate access to everything, but the price is also going to go up substantially, and I'm going to be eliminating the group coaching calls, at least in their current form. When you get in, there's an introduction. I'm not going to scroll down this page, but it's got a lot of information about the course and what you see and what you're going to get. We've got an introduction video and other things here. Then we go into week 1, and this is where, Walter, you might be interested because it talks about choosing the correct business entity, how to form your business entity, whether or not you need your business entity. These are things that we cover during the coaching call. So your question would be something that I could definitely probably answer in a coaching call. But so the first week is really all about what I would call the foundational elements of your business. I see legal protection as 3 primary elements that you have to deal with. The first element is the foundation, and the foundation is choosing the right business entity. And this is the process that I work through with all of my clients, the checklist that I follow with all my clients, making sure, number 1, they have that legal foundation in place, they have the right business entity in place. If they need, whether or not they should be forming an S corporation or not, these type of things are all in the foundational level. And then once you move from the foundational level, you move to what I would call setting up the walls on your legal house. And setting up the walls is putting in the studs. The studs are really protecting your website, because your website is, for a lot of online businesses, really the home of your online business. It's where everything happens, and you really want to make sure it's protected. You want to make sure you're not going to have any issues with people suing you or buying your course and then having issues with that. So you need to have a terms of sale in there. All these things are important to protecting your website and protecting the products that you sell on your website. You obviously, by law, need to have a good privacy policy, which is why it was interesting, because I saw this one guy that I was talking about earlier that's teaching about the stock market. He did not have a privacy policy on his website. Very bad. Looks like my wife is contacting me. Hold on a second. I love when my wife comes in the middle of these presentations. Hold on a second. She may want me to do a quick message back. Sorry about that. So let's see here. Where was I at? All right, back to what I was talking about. So that's the studs of your website or the studs of your legal house is the website. The walls of your legal house, as I see it, is what I would call protecting your intellectual property. And I have to get back to the page here. All right. And so that is, excuse me, not the intellectual property, that's the roof. I need to switch these around, because really week 4 should be week 3 and week 3 should be week 4. But the walls of your website are what we cover in week 4, and that is the contracts that you have in place to help you deal with your clients, to help you deal with the contractors that you work with. And so we have a whole bunch of stuff. And in each of these, going back to like in week 2, protecting your website, I've created some software that I use to basically help people walk them through exactly what they need to get these contracts and things in place. And so you can, it's a step-by-step process with this software that we've got here, and you can kind of see here, do you have affiliate links on your website? Yes or no? Would you like to include an arbitration clause? Yes or no? Where should arbitration take place? So, and there's a number of pages, and basically you have access to these interviews that you can use, and when you're done, you can just download the document really quick. A lot of times it doesn't take longer than 5 or 10 minutes to go through this interview and then get your document that's 95% done for you. What I recommend is you go through it and just make sure everything makes sense. And if you do have questions, take it to a lawyer in your jurisdiction to have them review, or we have an option where I can review it for you as well, and some of my past students have taken me up on that. Let's see, and then going on, the same thing is true of this working with clients, vendors, and contractors module, because in this one you have contracts that you need to be working with clients, and so we've got informative videos about what you need to include in your contract. So really the whole point of this course, and then of course there's more information on intellectual property. The whole point of this course is to provide you with basically almost like a lawyer in your back pocket that you can have. So if you have a question, you can go in and you can check, and if there's something that's not included, you can let me know, and I can include another course or another presentation that will give you more information about that aspect that you're looking for. And then of course there's some bonuses in the course as well. And let's see if I can get back over here. And the bonuses, we've got 10 avoidable mistakes that online entrepreneurs make. And then we include a video on how to keep your website safe from copycats. And in that video, we include a lot of the tools and resources that I recommend you use to keep your website safe, in terms of technology that you can use to actually keep your website safe. Like there's some plugins that you can use to actually keep people from copying your blog posts. Most people don't know that. And so I talk about a lot of that information, and then also how to be notified if somebody is plagiarizing your website. You can find that too. There's software that does all these things, and I talk about that in those bonuses. So anyway, I'm happy to. That's kind of what I want to talk to you about tonight. The course closes in a couple hours. It closes at midnight Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go back through some of the comment questions and see what's here. Let's see. We had a bunch at the beginning. Thank you, D. Wood, for letting me know you're binge watching my videos. I appreciate that. I wish I would have watched your business or watched your videos before setting up my business and biz plan. Let's see. Do you help people? We already talked about that. Will you post the course information? So yeah, there's the course information. Monica says, oh good, I can use you. Great, I appreciate that. Christopher Marbin, currently on the fence about starting up my LLC with an S election. Would love to have a little advice. I talk at great length about that in some of my other videos here. We also get into that a little bit on the coaching calls in the course. I'm probably going to add some additional modules. The course is still technically in beta. I'm still going to be, I'll always be adding additional information to the course, but it is still in beta right now, which means if I'm still surveying the people that take it, asking what they like, asking what they don't like, and incorporating those changes into the course. So that's one of the things I probably will add. Can we schedule a consultation with you? And if so, what are your rates? Yes, I charge $199 for a 30-minute consult, and you can go to hawthornelaw.net/ I think it's consult to do that if that's something you want to do. Let's see. I trade Forex and other markets and would like to run it through an LLC. My question is, what should I do from here? Thanks. Well, I think you probably should sign up, Nick, with the course, and then we can talk about that. That's where we give all the gold. There are many people that decided to go online because of the current situation. Many don't have a lot of funds, but biz setup is most important. I agree. That's right. Raw OG, this isn't really a legal issue, but do you think there's a big difference between .com and .co as a domain? I don't. I mean, I've got hawthornelaw.net. I don't think it's made a difference at all. Velma says, I missed the beginning of the live chat. I was watching your other tutorials and I wish I saw them before. What is the name of this live chat? I can't remember. It's whatever is the most recent one that's going to be on my channel. So you should be able to find it. And right now, if you're watching on YouTube, you should be able to rewind to the beginning and watch the beginning. You don't have to watch it live. Thanks a million for the relevant information. God bless. Thank you. We live. I think that's right. Jeho Choi. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for all your videos. I watched all your videos before I filed our LLC. Great. I mean, that's why I do it. I provide so much valuable free information out there on my YouTube channel. But if you want to dive into the weeds a little bit more and you really want to make sure you have a resource, you want to get the templates that you need, things like that, unfortunately, I can't give it all away for free. And that's where people have to go to, and this is the resource I have for that right now. Hussein Hassan. Do I have to bother with a business bank account if I'm a sole proprietor and there's no distinction between person and business? If you can't answer it, it's no problem. Love your videos. Help this 19-year-old out. Hussein, unfortunately, I don't really want to answer legal questions here on this. I really want to keep this focused primarily on the course and kind of things of that sort. However, what I will say is I always recommend getting a business bank account. Even if you're a sole proprietor, still getting a separate EIN and a business bank account, I think is a good idea. Alyssa says, Walter H, thumbs up. Awesome. So yeah, that's the deal, right? Let me see here. I'm just going through these again. Sorry. Here is the information for the course. Hawthornelaw.net. Oh, I don't think I did that right. I did not do that right. Hold on a second. It's hawthornelaw.net/courses is the information. So if you're trying to get it, there'll also be a link down in the description below. You can check that out there too. I recently invested in Ecamm. If any of you know Ecamm, it makes it so much easier. I was having problems before. I was using an open source software to do my live videos, and I just had too many issues. And so I think using Ecamm, it just makes everything so much easier. I'll probably be doing more of these live videos. Let's see. George Christopher Marbin says, so what has more value for a startup budget, going the course route or becoming your client? Well, I'll tell you, if you want to become a client, it's like a $5,000 to $10,000 investment. So for most people, they're starting up, the course route is important, is the better way to go. And so I would say, if you're just starting out and you're on a budget, the course, I mean, it's $500. It's not going to break the bank for most people. Most people can put that on a credit card, and when they start making money, they've got that information. And the other thing I'll say is it's available for as long as I offer the course, which hopefully is going to be a very long time. And anytime I make edits or updates, the price goes up, things like that, you're locked in. You don't have to pay anything else. It's lifetime access. So, I mean, if nothing else, if you're on the fence, you invest now and then you lock it in. And then next month when I launch it for $1,000, you're already in. You've got it. You don't have to worry about it. Let's see. Coach Constance, who says, thanks for this course. I'm all signed up and looking forward to it. Yeah, I saw you signed up. Perfect timing. I'm curious, will you be covering TOS, privacy policy, and disclaimers I didn't see on your site? Yes, I will be covering that. I don't know if you were on the beginning of this call, but the way the course is set up is I release the information prior to the coaching call that covers that information, and then I release the next set of information. And so in about a week, you're going to get access to all that information. So for people that sign up today, they're going to get access to all the other information a week from now. That's the way it's set up. Cher says, if I miss the course sign up tonight, when is the next time I can join? Well, you've still got about 2.5 hours. Right now, the plan is to relaunch the course in September, but there's going to be two major changes with the course in September. Number one, the price is going to double. It's going to go from $497 to $997. I may include a payment plan with that. I haven't decided yet, but so it's going to go to $497 to $997. Also, the group coaching calls are going to go away. So right now, I have 4 group coaching calls, but by the time we get to September, I will have had, with all the courses that we've done this is the 3rd time we will have done it. The price has gone up each time. I'm going to have 12 calls in the bank that I can use. I'm going to be posting them on the website and just referring people to use those. I will probably also release all the information at once. So there's going to be a couple changes. Now, what I will say is what I'm thinking about doing, and I haven't decided yet, is offering a coaching call once or twice a month and making that a membership. So that would be a recurring monthly fee. So again, if you get in now, you're not going to have to pay that membership fee. You're automatically going to be in forever. But for people who join, let's say in September, and then decide, you know what, I really would like those coaching calls, those group coaching calls, then or maybe I'll call them Ask Me Anything calls. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it just yet. There's going to be a monthly fee to do that, is kind of the way I'm looking at that. The other thing I will say that I may be adding is a Facebook community, because one of the biggest things a lot of people have been asking about is a Facebook community for the course. As of right now, I don't have a Facebook community, but I've got 180 students that have been through the course so far, and one of the biggest things that people tell me about when they give me feedback is that they really would love a way to connect with the people, because they were on these coaching calls with people, and it was the same. People every single time we were on the call. We really got to know each other over this course of 4 weeks. I mean, that's 8 hours, and so that's something I'm thinking about opening up a Facebook group where I might do like Facebook Lives, pop-up coaching, things like that for people that are in the group. But that's not, obviously if that's something, if you decide to join in September, that's going to be probably an extra membership fee if that's something that you're interested in. So that's just something to think about. I'm happy to see you joined, Coach Constance. Let's see. So what other questions I still got a number of people on the call, and I've got some time here. My wife hasn't texted me recently, but let me know if you've got other questions or things that I can help you with. Questions about the course or anything. Feel free to shout it out. I realize it's getting a little late. I planned to do this a little bit earlier, but when I got to the office, I had a bunch of things waiting for me that I just had to take care of, but I got that done. So anyway, I'm not seeing any more comments come in. I appreciate all of you that have stayed with me here, that have been on the call with me tonight. I appreciate you. I appreciate supporting my channel. Even if you're not in the course, that's fine. And hold on one second. George says Facebook community is awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. Will this course have any insights about multiple LLC strategy? That's a more advanced topic. We do touch on that, though. I know that question comes up very frequently. A lot of people ask about it, and that's something I've touched on in several of the coaching calls. So yes, that will be talked about. Will you be on for a while? I'm 45 minutes late and watching in double speed to catch up. I'm going to be 20 minutes until I'm watching you live. That's great. I love that comment. Thank you so much for everything. I'm probably not going to be on that much longer. We've been going for almost an hour. I might stay on, depending on if questions still roll in. I'll stay on for another 5-10 minutes or so, but I'm starting to get a little hoarse. I think I'm going to grab a sip of water. Let's see. But what I was starting to say is I appreciate all of you. I'll be honest. This YouTube channel has changed my life. I love doing it. I love making the videos. I've got a lot in store, a lot planned in the coming months. And my goal is really so for those of you that don't know, and Sherry says, thank you. I will join the course tonight. You've been extremely helpful to me in the start of my book business. Thank you, Sherry. I really appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you on the first coaching call. So I have a law firm that I've had for 15 years that does things that is not related to online business. It's litigation firm. We're in court, things like that. Rockstar lawyer. Thank you. Appreciate that, George. It is. And Velma says, I really like your channel. Thank you. I usually don't subscribe, but I did on your channel. Well, thank you, Velma. I appreciate that. Love this channel. Awesome. I love you guys. And so I have this separate law firm, but I really am not a big fan of litigating. I don't like going to court. I don't like fighting like that. I don't like being at the beck and call of a court. So I was supposed to, a couple weeks ago, my family, we had to get a break because we've been together for months, literally. All of you know about that. And so we decided to take a break and go to a lake house in Western North Carolina. And it's no sooner than we had scheduled that lake house, I get a notice from the court that they scheduled a hearing for the morning that we're supposed to be gone at the lake house. And so I had to file a motion to continue and all that stuff. But it's just I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to say, I have to file a motion to continue. Now it's up to a judge whether or not I can go on my family's vacation or not. And so that's the type of stuff that I don't like. So I started doing, like I said, working with online business clients. It's great. Everything can be done. I've got clients across the country. I've had clients in California. Alyssa just says, I live in America right now. However, in the future, I'd like to travel outside the country. Do you have any international clients? So, I don't know if this counts, but I had some clients that were American citizens that lived in Mexico, but their business was in the United States. And I know there's a lot of online business owners that want to travel, that want to move. And that's what I want. I want the freedom to say, you know what? Next week, we're going to go and spend a week, go visit family in Ohio, or go to the beach, or go to the mountains, or whatever we're going to do. We're just going to take a week off and do that. Well, when you're stuck to a brick and mortar law firm where you have to go in and meet with clients in person every day, that becomes very difficult to do. And so there's other things. I could hire an associate, right? I could hire staff that could do that for me. But I'll be honest, I don't really like the idea of managing staff, and that's not something I want to do. So building an online business around something I love, the law, is just, it's a no-brainer. So this is what I like to do, and this is why I'm doing it. And it's only possible because of all of you and the people that have supported my channel, the people that have subscribed, the people that click the ads when they pop through on the channel. and buy through my website and buy through my affiliates. I mean, you have made this possible. You have made it possible for me to build this course, because if none of that was happening, I probably wouldn't have continued doing all this. If I didn't see a way to support my family with this channel, then building this course is not something I would have ever done. Oh, look at that. My wife popped on. Love your video. I have to ask, did you just pop on like a minute ago, or did you pop on like, have you been listening for a while? Hopefully not too long. I think that's her sign that she's saying Daddy needs to come home. I'm at the office, by the way, if you can't figure that out. But anyway, that's why I did all this, because and then Alyssa says, I plan to travel to Prague and South Korea, but I want to have my future business in America too. God bless, Jim. Thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate that. Wow, that's just all over the world, isn't it? Yeah, that's one thing that I'd love to do. Our family, we want to travel. We want to be able to do that. We want the freedom to be able to do that. And when you're stuck at a job that you have to be at on a daily basis, it's very hard to do that. But if you have an online business, as many of you do, and you can work, you've got your, I don't know if you can see, but your laptop. I probably just knocked the mic out again. No, looks like it's still going. Let's see, is it still going? Yep, still going. But if you have a laptop and literally like a cell phone and maybe a microphone and a camera, you're good to go, right? You can have that business and you can go wherever you want and do your business from wherever. Tanika says, thank you for helping me form my LLC. I did all the work myself and saved lots of money. I was clueless when I started out, and you walked me through the process. So thank you. You're awesome. No, Tanika, you are awesome. I appreciate the fact that I was able to help you with that. And that's great. I love that. So let's see. We're coming up on an hour. Once again, in case any of you have forgotten, let's see here. I love that you guys have decided to spend your Friday night with me. Hopefully some of you maybe are on the West Coast, and so it's still a little early there. You can still, well, you can't really go out, can you? It's like, I don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, we go home. So what makes tonight different than any other night? It's a Friday night. So what? It's not like we can go anywhere tomorrow. Obviously because of COVID. So hopefully all of you are safe. There's about 2.5 hours left before the course shuts down for the night. I would appreciate it. Think about investing in this course. I think it would be a smart move for many of you if you're in an online business. Like I said, the investment to do this, $497, it's a steal. If you look at the templates that are worth about $2,000, if you look at them on my website, you can buy them each a la carte for around $2,000. The coaching calls, based on my hourly rate, are I don't know, thousands of dollars. The bonuses that I provide, thousands of dollars. So you're looking at a $5,000 to $10,000 value that you're getting for $500. I mean, I don't. It's as much as an irresistible offer as I can see, as Dan Kenny would say. You got to give people an irresistible offer, and like I said, there's no risks. If you get in, you take the whole course, you realize it's not for you. I've got a 30-day refund policy, so no questions asked. So you can get in if you want to do that, and you really truly don't find value in it, then I'll refund your money back. No questions asked. I might ask you why you refund it, but other than that, we'll take care of that. But hopefully you won't. And of the 180 or so people that have taken the course so far, I think only 2 have refunded. So I think that's pretty good. I think that talks to the testament. Is that right? that talks to the quality of the course and what I'm doing, and I think there's tremendous value in it. And I'm the reason I'm preaching so much about this is because I believe so strongly in it, and I believe so strongly in how it can help you. And when people invest in themselves and people invest in their business, there's like a mental shift that happens, right? When you're just going along and it's kind of like a hobby and you're not really spending any money on it, or you don't pay anything. I could give this course away for free, but most people that would get it for free they're not gonna show up on the calls. They're not gonna get any value from it. But when you put skin in the game, it forces you to use it. It forces you to invest in your business, and not only in the legal aspects of your business, but in your business just in general. And so Velma says, I paid way too much for an online business before your course for nothing in return so far. I don't know what that. Hopefully, what that means is I don't think you paid for my course, but I don't think that's what you're saying. I think you said you paid too much for an online business. Maybe what you mean is you paid too much. You invested too much in an online business that in products and services that did not return anything for you. But this is all about mindset, right? You've got to have the mindset that you have to invest in this, and you've got to believe it's going to come back to you many times over. And the point of this course, it's not to take the place of your lawyer. Some people think that this is supposed to take the place of your lawyer. This is not to take the place of a lawyer. If you need a lawyer and you have the capital and you want to go out and spend $5,000 to $10,000 to have a lawyer do all the stuff that this course can do for you, please, you should do that. But most online businesses are not there yet. So I'm trying to meet people where they're at and give information in a way that is useful and beneficial to you where you're at. And let's see. And that's the whole point, right? So don't go into this thinking, oh, well, this is going to replace a lawyer. I don't need a lawyer now. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this course is going to make you aware of the issues that you may have and teach you how to get around those issues, and how to set up your LLC and how to set up your trademark and how to copyright your assets, and give you the templates you need that you can put into use in your business immediately. And then when you grow and you're generating $100,000 a month, then you can go and pay $5,000 to $10,000 and have a lawyer review everything and make sure everything is where it needs to be. Because right now, that's not where you're at. Steve says, just joined your live. I'm doing online retail business, Amazon. Will your course help? Thank you for your answer in time. Steve, that's a great question. I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, but I see you just joined, so I'll answer it again. So one of the people, I was just talking about refunds, and out of the 180 or so people that have joined my course, I've had, I think, 2 refunds. And one of them was somebody who had joined thinking that this course would help them in some way. I have my opinion about people that refund. I've taken a lot of courses over the years. Some of them I felt like I could have refunded. I've never refunded a course because no matter how much you spend on something, you probably can get some value out of it if you apply yourself. Anyway, this person decided to refund. And it was because they were buying stuff at like Walmart, doing retail arbitrage, selling it on Amazon, did not have a Shopify store. At least they say they didn't have a Shopify store. They said that they didn't have a website or anything like that. They weren't going to create a brand, and so they didn't need the material in the course. And that may very well have been valid, and that's fine. I refunded their money. No questions asked. Good. But if you have a Shopify store, if you're trying to build a brand on Amazon, then this is something that I think definitely would help you. George says, take my money now. Okay, well then sign up for the course. Here's the link. There you go. Happy to have you, George. So anyway, I'm on my soapbox a little bit. We're over an hour now. One thing I'm probably going to do, I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but you're still here. So if the numbers were dwindling, I'd jump off. But for the course, when I relaunch in September, I'm probably going to do a webinar. So it sounds to me like I'm doing well enough to at least keep people's attention, which is great, and I love that. But I'm going to do a webinar format for that course, to launch that course, in all likelihood. So it's going to be a little bit different than the way I did it this time. Let's see. So does it wasn't your course. Your YouTube site gave me info I wish I had. You know what? I'm sorry. That stinks. We won't name names here, though. Even though I'm dying, I'd love to know. So I'm guessing it was a legal course. Steve Lee says, thank you. You are very welcome. I love this eCam software, though. If any of you are doing stuff online, and the other thing I will say, if you want to, okay, now we're really digging into the weeds, but if you if you are thinking about starting an online business in social media or things like that, this eCam software, if you're going to be doing Facebook Lives or YouTube Lives, this stuff is amazing. I need to get an affiliate link for them. So what long term, my vision, what I want to do with this course is I want to turn it into, and again, people invest now, get access to all this stuff, just so you know, I'm going to grandfather them in. One thing that happened to me a long time ago is I signed up for a phone service and they kept raising my rates every single year, and it made me so mad because I was one of their founding people. I supported them when they didn't have any clients at all, and they just kept raising my rates. And I asked them, can you grandfather me in? They're like, no, I'm sorry. We'll give you a month of free service, but no, your rates are going to continue to go up. That's not the way it works with this course. When you get in now, you're done. You don't have to pay anymore. If I go to membership, you're not going to pay anymore. So when I invested in, true story, when I invested in Podcaster's Paradise, so when John Lee Dumas launched this course back in like 2012 or something, whenever he did it, his initial launch, I think he charged, it was like $197 or $297 was like the initial beta group, and then he upped the price to like $597. But you were able to do it in like payments, and that's what I signed up for back then for Podcasters Paradise. And so I think I paid $600. I'm still a member of Podcasters Paradise, but now he's charging like $97 a month or $200 a month or something like that. So anyway. Alyssa, sweet. My birthday is in September. Well, so is my wife's. That's awesome. Happy birthday, almost. Anyway, where I want to go with this, where I'm thinking about going with this, and this is down the road, is I want to continue to build out this legal course. And once I've gotten this legal course to where I'm happy with it, and the qualities where I'm at, the templates are where I'm at. And I'll continue to add and update the templates as the laws change and things like that. You don't need to worry about that. But once we get it to where I want, is what I want to build onto it is some other type of course that corresponds nicely with it. So like I said, I've been through so many online courses that teach about marketing, YouTube. YouTube for Bosses. I did that. Video Creators with Tim Schmoyer. I did that. Steve says, "Does this video will be found in your video YouTube? Can I listen back all the way?" Yeah, it'll be up for maybe a couple days. I may take it down. Usually with the live videos, I leave them up for a little bit and then I take them down. And especially this one, it's not going to be timely anymore after tonight because the course will be done. Although I could, I guess, include a link down below to the waiting list. Anyway, so I plan on adding some, teaching people, something else about building their online business, whether it be how to build an online business or how to build a YouTube channel or something like that I've been successful at, because I feel like I have been successful at this point, and which is cool. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to take a sip. Okay. Any other questions? I went about 20 minutes over what I said I was going to do. But feel free to ask away if you do. One last time, there's the link to get in. The course closes in 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I'm be excited to have all you in there. So, or even a handful of you, don't need to have all of you. But let me know, if you got any questions. You can email me, support@hawthornelaw.net. I will be staying up tonight until midnight to shut the course down. I'll have my laptop. I will be going through and answering questions that come through to, let me give you that email address. This is the email if you've got questions, or if you're on my email list, you can just reply back to any of the messages that I've sent you, and they should come through to support. Make sure they go through to support@hawthornelaw.net. Some of the old ones go to a different email address, but I've changed that. Let's see. Tanika, that would be great because I'm thinking about starting a channel. Prayed on it, but haven't received confirmation if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But Tanika, just so you know, that's like way down the road. That's not talking about building. I'm focusing on legal stuff now. Legal is where, that's my passion at this point. So that we're talking years down the road. Just a little transparency. Anyway, let's see here. So there you go. Love to see you in the course. Thank you so much for staying with me tonight and listening. And hope you have a great weekend. And stay safe. Let's see. I've got a couple other questions. We also be sharing on how to decide when to shift tax assessors. In the course, we talk about that a lot in the course. That's in some of the coaching calls, I believe, Diana. Thank you for the question. But yeah, in the course, that is an issue that comes up. We do talk about it. Steve says, thank you very much. I learned a lot from your YouTube. And I appreciate you, like I said. Anyway, I'm going to hop off. It's almost 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm guessing my email box is already flipping out because we're getting close to the deadline. That's what tends to happen. But hopefully see you in the course. First coaching call will take place on Thursday, August 6th. And of course, all the replays are available in the portal. But deadline to sign up for the course tonight, midnight. If you can't get in, it's going to go to a waitlist page. And next time it opens up, it's going to be twice the price. So definitely want to get in now if you can. Have a great night, folks. And that's it. I'm jumping off. I gotta run. I'll see you next time.